Here's a little warm-up that I did this morning I thought I'd share. So first of all, rub your hands together and just move around like a silly person. Feel the heat of your hands, feel your feet on the earth, rock your hips side to side, embrace the space around you, wriggle, 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 wriggle. Shake it out, okay? Get loose and then we'll get into it. Yeah, I guess I dance a little more than normal in a warm-up. Focusing in on the big arm circles with a squat. Keeping your arms as close to your ears as possible as they go up and behind. And the same thing when you do it in reverse, close to your ears. Breathing deep. Maybe 5 circles each direction. Big, wide, interlace the fingers, and some more wriggling side to side, shifting weight, leaning in the opposite direction of your weight shift. So you get space in the rib cage, and arching round. The knees are slightly bent. And just circle around, hips, head, heart. Everything's working together. Interlace the fingers behind the back. Squeeze the shoulder blades together gently. Chin to chest, lengthen the neck. Kind of zip your pelvis forward. And we're going to do a forward fold with knees bent. Only do what's comfortable for you. You can straighten the knees or keep them bent as you're over. Then we're going to come back up, same way we went down. Hands to heart, round at the rib cage, zip your pelvis under, press your knuckles forward as you reach your heart space energetically back and drive a steering wheel in this rounded position. Go back to your arch, booty back, and round. Shoulder blades pull apart. Shoulder blades pull together. Shoulder blades apart. Shoulder blades together. Your spine is saying, yes, I love you. Thank you. Now we're doing our arch down, round up. Got nice wide stance. Take your time. Head is last. On the way up, pull the belly button toward the spine. On the way down, pull the shoulder blades toward each other. We're going to sink down and do the beautiful goddess twists. These thoracic twists just create a beautiful twist in the spine. Can look up over the back shoulder so that the twist continues up through the neck gently. Yeah, play around with this, make it feel good to you. Come center, round it back up. Breathing. Heel toe your feet in, another dance. Big hip circles. Just imagine you're inside of a cauldron. You're being cooked for supper, and you got to get those hips around the edges. All right, standing on one leg, rolling your wrists, rolling your foot. Balance, shake it out. And other side. Balancing, rolling the wrists, rolling the foot. Take those wrists forward, move your arms around, switch direction. Shake it out. Do. Still dancing, okay? Freestyle. Down to the ground. You don't need a yoga block. You could use a book or a tissue box, whatever. This is just to give your hips some time to warm up. I'm resting on my forearms, but feel free to go up to the wrists if that feels better. Sit up taller. Just take your time going through the circling. This isn't supposed to be a hard challenge, just warming up the hips. I'm going around both directions. So do one direction for like 5 and then do the other direction. Trying to keep my toe point and my legs straight when it is appropriate. And then draw the knee in toward the chest. 2. Doing little straddles, butterflying out. Then I'm just going to make a ball and just rock and roll on the spine. It's great to have a mat for this. I wouldn't recommend it on a hard floor unless you're used to it. Sitting up, interlace the fingers at the knees. Knees are together. Round away, straight elbows, chin sinks to chest. Lift up, straighten the back, just back and forth. This is one of my favorites. And breathing, inhale on the lift, exhale on the round. All right, core, time for the core. We're going to be passing the block overhead and around a leg, overhead and around the other leg. Now, if this is too challenging, you can rest your head on the ground and just work the legs, trying to keep the low back pressed down to the ground. If you're up for it, you lift your head and shoulders off the ground. Totally not necessary. You can modify this and just lie on your back and scissor the legs, keeping them engaged and just focusing on not arching. Rest time. This is just a nice arch, spread eagle, and the cosmic puppy. I think I heard Shiva Ray call this the cosmic puppy. It's so nice. Okay, now non-dominant hand takes your object and we reverse the direction. Non-dominant hand. I think I switched to my dominant hand. I just noticed that. Well, there you go. The dominant hand unconsciously took over. Oh, yeah. Well, it's still abs, okay? But I really wish I had kept passing with my left hand. Next time, I'll do better. The rest. Wriggle, wriggle. Hand to heart, feel my heartbeat. You know, I enjoy the self-care moments where you just surrender for a minute. Gather your forces so you can go on. So here we are. I think I'm having a conversation with Zoe there. Anyway, back to work. Here we go. We're gonna lift opposite arm and leg. Forehead is on the ground, so you're not working your neck. And you're not trying to lift your leg high or use your arch activation. I'm trying to actually hollow out my low abs here. So I'm like checking in and occasionally drawing them in when I forget. Hands are by the ears, arms over shoulders again, forehead resting on the ground. Take the arms out to V. Keep lifting and lowering, warming up the backs of the shoulders. 15 reps per position. And then this is right out from the heart, lifting and lowering, touch the ground and back up. Warming up the wings. This is for triceps. About 15. Breathing and enjoying. Now we're going to hover the hands and gently, gently hover the legs, squeeze the booty, and press up to a cobra. Come back down from your cobra. Take the hands forward and fly. Flutter. We're going to flutter. We're going to flutter. Keep your flutter going. Keep your flutter going. Oh, these are so good. Pull your elbows in, squeeze those shoulder blades together. Your knees are hovering off the floor. Rest anytime you need and go back to it. Never give up. Okay, coming up into the Sphinx pose. On the forearms, shoulders away from the ears, head back and press up. You can bring the hands closer if you want. I'm going to take one hand center and the other hand lifts. And just hold and breathe. So one hand comes into the center line of your body and the other lifts. Press back into extended child's pose. Taking your deep breaths. Sliding into puppy pose. I tented the fingers, elbows straight, and roll your ribcage around. Pressing those armpits down to earth. Looking ahead toward the thumbs. This is a tricep stretch. Just gently circle it around. You're holding your elbow, the other hand is touching the back of the shoulder. Circle in a way that's comfortable for you. I was obsessed with shoulder warm-ups over quarantine because I really wanted to get my hands in the prayer pose behind my back, which is something that I struggle with. I have sort of, I had to really work on freeing my right shoulder for that. So I would do a lot of breathing and stretching and very patient work with this. You don't rush it. So if you aren't able to do this, don't worry about it. Just like interlace your hands behind you. You know, do something else while I'm doing this. But this is kind of how I warm up to do that. And I figured I would leave it in here in case somebody was interested. So I'm sitting. My elbows are grabbed in my hands, moving a little bit, the head. Wriggle, wriggle. I'm a fan of the wriggle. I'm still grabbing my elbows and giving it time. Don't rush. Patience. One arm up and overhead, and I'm trying to grab my fingertips together behind. And again, this is for me, this is a big accomplishment that I'm able to do this with the right hand down. It took a while, but I wanted to even out my body, left side, right side. So I'm going to prep the other side. This side was, for me, and I know a lot of people, this comes easily. For me, it was not so easy. Something I just really wanted to get. Just felt good, and I wanted to free up my shoulders. So, yeah, stretch the fingers one at a time. And then you can gently pull them back after you flip the hand. I love to take care of the wrists and forearms. Breathing, take your time. Roll it out. Have I lost you yet? This part is perhaps self-indulgent. I was seeing if I could still do it. So take your time. You don't have to do this. Just slowly but surely acclimating to each position of prayer hands behind back. I like to do the little pendulum. Give the wrists time to get used to the pressure of the various positions. And then I kind of like lift up my rib cage and do prayer hands behind my back. Ooh. Don't ask me to open a can after that. This is self-care time. Huggies. Big inhale, big exhale. Wriggle, wriggle. And then just take a moment and tune in to how your body feels. Soften the energy around your body. Breathe into your beautiful form. Hand on the heart and on the sacral. Just breathing into the belly, chest, and head.